Good afternoon, everybody. Mike's MMA Picks here. I wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday season. We're here as a new series. I'd like to begin a installment of some upcoming fights in 2020. A little stocking stuffer, so to speak. So let's dig right into it. Wanted to discuss Carlos Diego Ferreira taking on Anthony Pettis. Anthony Pettis is going to be dropping down from 170 pounds after a decisive loss to Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz came in off of that long layoff, and Diaz worked over Anthony Pettis pretty easily in that fight, could have finished the fight a few times. Carlos Diego Ferreira fights out of a tremendous camp in Fortis MMA. He is coming in with a head of steam right now. A few things that stick out to me. We have Carlos Diego Ferreira, who was out in Abu Dhabi and took on Marbek Taisimov. I don't know many people who would sign up to take that fight. And he went into enemy territory, won a dominant fight. You look back at Carlos Diego Ferreira's previous fights, you've seen a dramatic improvement in his striking, as well as his takedown defense. There have been a number of areas where I've been very impressed. You watch the Kabbalov fight, the pressure, the pace. Carlos is evolving right before our eyes. 16-2 record. Last loss was in 2015 against Dustin Poirier. He also lost to Benny Dariush back in the day. But this fight, the odds have swung in a couple of different directions here. If you were able to get in on Carlos Diego Ferreira at -200, -210-ish, I think you've got a steal on your hands right there. Anthony Pettis, I have some major concerns about where his head is at right now. He's broken in a number of fights. I know he's fought some tremendous opponents in the past. You look at his resume and who he's lost to. He took a life-changing beating at the hands of Rafael dos Anjos, then went on to lose to Eddie Alvarez. Edson Barbosa was finished by Max Holloway. Dustin Poirier broke in that fight. Tony Ferguson broke in that fight, and he's been at 145, 155, 170, now back at 155 again. Ferreira is vulnerable to low calf kicks. He's also vulnerable as far as striking defense goes. That's a concern of mine. But the more tape I watch, the more confidence I have in Carlos Diego Ferreira. I give him a 70% chance to win this fight. So this fight should be lined at around -250, -257-ish. In this spot, I think you've got a steal on your hands with Carlos Diego Ferreira to win. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him get this done inside the distance. If you're on the fence in this matchup, you look back at Anthony Pettis' recent victories. You've got the Wonderboy Thompson fight. Now, Wonderboy was piecing Anthony Pettis up on the feet the majority of that fight. He backed against the fence and landed that hellacious Superman punch and knocked Stephen Thompson out cold for the first time, since his kickboxing days. Here's the issue. I think that was a flash in the pan. And then you also go back and you watch his fight against Charles Oliveira. I mean, you sub Charles Oliveira That's very impressive. He was fighting a Charles Oliveira who lacked a lot of confidence in that fight. Oliveira is a totally different man nowadays. You look at Anthony Pettis in that fight also. He's coming off a 3-fight losing streak. So not to be counted out, Anthony Pettis. This matchup, though, all signs are pointing to Carlos Diego Ferreira to get this win. Looking forward to UFC 246. You can follow me at betmma.tips, Mike's MMA Picks on Twitter, as well as Capertech. Looking forward to dropping a few quick videos here and there. Little stocking stuffer for you. Have a wonderful evening, and take care, friends.